Welcome back, YouTube. My name's Zeegers, and today I'm going to break down some of the most efficient ways to make and retain Koen in Season Ignition for Arena Breakout Infinite. In this video, I'll show you 8 different ways to make money and a few tips to retain as much wealth as you can after earning it. The first thing I'll mention is straight up free money, and it's the most obvious one, but it's running your Impostor on CD. The Impostor has a preset kit. Sometimes these loadouts are pretty decent, so be sure to keep an eye on it between your games. The Impostor will refresh its kit daily or 15 minutes after you complete a run, successful or from death. These runs will be in a normal difficulty match in either farm or valleys. Check your deeks. One of my favorite things to do in the game is checking for great deals at our homie Deek Vincent. You go to this contact, the very first tab will allow you to get the limited time barterable items. Trick here is to check how much the item is going for on the market by pressing the magnifying glass next to the portrait for quick access to see this information. Once you know how much that item goes for, you can select the item in question and it'll pop up how much the barter will be if you were to purchase materials off of the market. If the barter is cheaper than the item cost value, you can barter for the item and either A, keep the item, or B, which is what I do more times than not, is sell it back on the marketplace. Bear in mind though that there is a handling fee and a management fee when doing this, so if the intent is to sell the item you bartered from Deek, you must make sure that the math makes sense. Deek resets the inventory available for these barters on a 6, 6, and 12-hour cycle. We'll show you a cooldown timer in-game once you activate his list, so you'll know those breakpoints for your local time zone. Secure Ops. One of the biggest new additions in Season Ignition for making massive money is something called Secure Ops. Secure Ops is a mode where you can put together a kit with a value of 400k and under. Go into a raid, and if you die, you will not lose any of your equipped gear. You'll keep everything you're physically wearing on equipment slots, as well as the gun magazines that you've brought into the raid, and of course whatever is in your case. You do, however, lose your quick equip items like meds, utility, and ammo, including the ammo in your gun. You'll know what's protected by a green icon on the gear itself. This is a very low risk, high reward mode that most people have been making millions off of. Another reason why it's so lucrative is the universal keycard drop rate is increased in the Secure Ops mode. The reason behind this is your keychain will not be accessible during these runs. The universal keycard will expire and disappear if not used in that same raid, and if used, allows you to open any key or card room, which could be something with a safe inside. These key cards were dropping like candy for me in document cases and jackets. You could easily run the map and open every key room if you're quick about it. This will be a super popular mode in its current state for people looking for a no gear fear, low risk, high reward game mode. There is one catch though. In the few tests that I ran, the loot that you extract with is directly converted to Koen valued at around 40 to 44% of the total value extracted with, and it will be sent to you via in-game mail. This means that if an item is worth about 100 Koen, you could make about 40 to 44 from it. The one exception was if you found loose leaf Koen, who was extracted at a 1-for-1 value. Secure Ops is based around lockdown level difficulty and loot, but I could see some shadow patch adjustments to this mode in the future if they find that it's too lucrative or not lucrative enough. For now, as long as you don't overspend on your ammo and your provisions each run, you can make some good money here. There's one kind of negative aspect of the Secure Ops mode to keep in mind, and that is the 400k equipment score value that can be metagamed a bit. What I mean by this is if you bring in a low durability piece of armor or helmet, it will be much lower equipment value than if it had full durability. People have found ways to make up kits including T6 helms, T5 armor, and cheaper guns like maybe the F2K, SCAR, or SMGs in general. Perhaps I'll make another video on some meta builds for Secure Ops in the future. But for now, I just wanted to mention it so it's on the radar and will allow you to play around with it and see what works for you. Let me know in the comments below what are some of the things that you've tried so far. The last bonus to this particular mode is the fact that you can also run missions and weeklies. Weeklies are reset every Sunday night and can provide a nice boost in Koen and possibly a red within the bundle quest reward that it provides. I think for the more casual player or someone who just wants a chill night, they can tackle all of this without having to worry about risking too much to achieve it. And who knows, maybe you'll even find a secret document. Oh! No fucking way! No fucking way! What the Budget kits and tackling gear fear. Arena Breakout's current structure can be punishing when you spend too much money on your kit each raid. There's a saying sometimes that making money is boring and having fun is expensive, especially with the current risk-reward structure of the modes. With this said though, it's important to find something that you're efficient in making money with gear-wise, as I think this not only helps the wallet long-term, but this also takes away gear fear over time and provides a way to have fun and focus on PvP fights without making poor decisions or worrying about losing your stuff. Gear fear at its core stems from being worried about losing wealth, because perhaps it was hard to obtain. Once you have figured out a method to make consistent money with, the worry about losing the gear fades away and you become more confident in PvP, which can then in turn snowball your wealth. I would recommend finding ways to be efficient in lockdown with no higher than tier 4 ammo and gear, and forbidden no higher than tier 5. There are great AR, SMG, and shotgun budget kit options you can roll with, and perhaps we will make an additional video detailing some of these true budget kit options out there. Let me know in the comments below what your favorites are. PvP and Forbidden. I wasn't really sure if I was going to mention this, but I feel I should mention it because this is the best ways to make money video. Fastest ways to obtain wealth in ABI outside finding reds is through PvP, especially on Forbidden. They added new silent extractions across the maps, making it easier to extract than ever before. You can either loot and scoot or get frisky and take down full juicers. Either way, consistently being successful in PvP fights or extracting in Forbidden will skyrocket your net worth. Valleys. Buy lockdown keys and run safes. Another easier, more relaxed way to make some consistent money is running valleys on lockdown. The trick here is to buy all of the keys from the marketplace, being that they're priced for lockdown as there is no forbidden queue option anymore for valley. The keys being cheaper and the map being large enough to avoid fights make this a great way to hyper-focus running safes and quick extracting when you can. Be sure to buy the abandoned shack key as well, as extracting here in a pinch can be super clutch. Recently, they also changed farm to lockdown only queue, so I'm sure over time we will see the keys come down in price here too. So you could try the same concept here on this map. However, I do think that it'll be more difficult in general as the map is smaller and did tend to have a higher frequency of thermal users here. Something to consider though if you feel like changing it up in the future. Fringe Loot on Forbidden Northridge. The new map added in Season Ignition called Northridge, it poses a large opportunity to have a relaxed run simply focusing on fringe looting and avoiding PvP altogether. What I mean by fringe looting is essentially spawning in, running to the quickest free safe possible, and simply hitting majority of the POIs along the way to your extract, all the while being mindful of what you hear gunshot wise and avoiding the danger. I also recommend grabbing the lifeboat key here, as it works fairly similar to the abandoned shack key in valleys. Now, as I was making this video, a patch was released which stated that they have reworked the spawn points in Northridge. I did have a crowdsourced spawn point map made up for us, but after they've been adjusted, I just couldn't get the locations in time, so perhaps we'll have it in our Discord for an updated map and we get that information flowing. And lastly, your quick kits. Another great way to have zero risk, all reward run is the quick kits. Find this quick kit access in your storage menu and have the ability to choose from one of 3 kits for each category: basic, advanced, and premium. These require tickets to run, but most are abundant through multiple routes via battle pass, missions, and event rewards. You use all of the basic tickets throughout the week, you will be issued 5 new ones as per the weekly reset on Sundays. Now, personally, I have a love-hate relationship with these. I understand why they exist, but I think the current way that they're structured is wrong. If I were in charge, I would make basic quick kits for normals, advanced for lockdown, and premium for forbidden. I will note that at the time of this video, no one has obtained premium quick kit tickets yet. I'm not sure when they will be available. So there you have it. Every way I can possibly think to make impactful wealth in ABI. I hope I have hit all the options, and if I didn't, please let me know in the comments below. This helps the quality of future videos, and I always appreciate the insight. Till next time, have a wonderful day.